Hello A-Sven-gers, it's me, Svenny McG. So now, Nintendo has announced a new Nintendo Switch. No, not the new Nintendo Switch, but the new version that's coming out now, the Nintendo Switch OLED, they're calling it. What I want to do today is quickly discuss some of the differences with this new version and what my opinion is of this new model coming out. So let's jump right in and take a look. Alright, so first things first, there's been a lot of talk, a lot of hype about this coming out there. Everybody was mind blown that at E3, Nintendo didn't already announce this new console coming out, just some upcoming games, and to do it a few weeks later, everyone's kind of wondering why. But I think the main reason is, it's the hype train that was going towards this in the first place. And it probably would have just left everybody wondering, and potentially even kind of killed the buzz on their show. So that being said, we do have a new model coming out, and it has an OLED screen. Some people say OLED, I don't know, I don't call my TV a LED TV, I call it an LED, but this has an OLED screen on it, but it's still only going to output at 720p. No different than the current Nintendo Switch and current Nintendo Switch Lite handheld editions. The screen will be bigger, it's going to be a 7-inch screen versus the current editions that currently have a 6.2-inch screen. So you're going to gain a whole 0.8 of an inch more. That new OLED model is also going to be the same weight and size roughly as these guys. It's a little bit bigger, a little bit wider, but it's really close in dimensions here. And the docks will all be compatible one to another. They're all using USB-C. The new version actually is going to have 64 gigs on board. Again, all these editions and in that Switch Lite all have 32 gig. Now, one unique thing about it is the docks are all still going to output 1080p to a television. So again, everybody was thinking new versions coming, we're going 4K with Nintendo, and again, that's not the case. Is that terrible? Arguably, no, yes, but satisfactory for some people surprised. That's because the core unit itself, it's still going to have all the same CPU, GPU, that NVIDIA custom Tegra processor. But the docks themselves, while compatible, while still outputting 1080p, these ones have 3 USB slots on them, and the new one actually has 2, but it now has a LAN. So if you're going to be looking for better connection speeds while you're docked, it has a LAN. That being said, these ones with the 3, note you can use an external. This one here is actually for the Nintendo Wii. We'll look at this in an upcoming video, but it's a USB to Ethernet port. So again, that option is available here, and you have the 3 USBs to make a decision here. Again, the new OLED has 2 USBs and a LAN port. With the original model, you had that 2 to 6 hours. With this one here, you're looking at the 4 to 9 hour play. And of course, that battery life will continue in the new OLED edition. So again, what's in the name? Well, people really scoffed when Nintendo brought out these ones here, the new editions, the new 2DS, new 3DS. These were improvements on the original models. And they were just simply stating, they're new. But the fact remains, there was quite a few improvements. These did have better, faster hardware on board for loading. This one had an improved 3D tracking. There was a separate camera to track your eyes for the 3D output. And of course, these actually introduced C-sticks on them, so you actually had dual analog thumbs versus the original editions. Quite a few differences. That being said, Nintendo didn't really stink around too much with that new title. They literally call it the Nintendo Switch OLED because that's its primary feature here. You are getting an OLED screen to play in handheld mode. Will that cascade over to Nintendo Switch Lites? You would kind of hope so, because you are not playing the handheld in any other way than staring at that 5-inch screen. It's smaller than the new upgraded OLED, and it's smaller than these guys even. It's handheld only, and yet it's going to have an inferior screen. I don't know. I don't understand. So maybe they will. Seems to me that would have been the play to make on the handhelds in order to push the handhelds. But again, it's Nintendo. We'll see where they go with it. One thing I didn't touch on was the kickstand. Of course, on these guys, it just has that one single layer. And the new ones, actually half of the back is actually going to kind of fold out in order to support the system. So that's an improvement. Definitely a better engineered design there. But what do I think? Well, again, we kind of ran with the stories here, right? Like everybody else was talking about they have to go 4K, and Nintendo never does that. Look at the upgrade of the 360 and the PS3 going with HD everything, and then the Nintendo Wii comes out and basically blows them both out of the water by basically taking a GameCube and adding motion controls to it and reselling it to you as a brand new console. Nintendo always seems to state that they are focused on fun versus updated graphics, etc. And maybe that's the case here with the new console. That being said, I don't know. It's nothing that I'm rushing out to get because it's not that much of an upgrade. If you're going to get one brand new, fantastic. Jump on board. There's never a better time. Huge library of games on the Nintendo Switch today. You're going to have 64 gigs on board, so it's going to be superior to get you started and get you right out the door. All the Joy-Cons, the game carts, everything is still going to be compatible, the Pro Controllers. It's a great system for someone. It's definitely a great system to start with and get going. But for me, currently where I'm at, I don't know that I need one day one, and I definitely don't need to just upgrade this. If I'm playing mine personally, 50-50 handheld and on television, I don't necessarily need to go and play OLED 720p versus LED 720p with 0.8 of an inch greater screen in order to see the difference. Some people have noted too, again, there's obviously a mass chips shortage. Look at what's going on with the Xboxes. Look what's going on with the PS5. Look what's going on with the automotive industry. My buddy bought a truck, still can't get it. Look at, there's a lot going on here. So for Nintendo to really shake it up and push all new hardware, perhaps now wouldn't have been the best time to do so anyways. So I'm definitely curious to see the new one. I definitely want to check it out. Probably not a day one purchase for Svenny McG here, but I definitely do want to see what it's all about. Anyways, that's my thoughts on it. What did you think? How did you feel about the announcements? Were you excited? Was you kind of meh? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you and love to hear what you think about it and if you're going to be picking one up anytime soon. Thanks for watching. Appreciate hearing from you, and please consider liking and subscribing as it always helps grow my channel. Till I see you guys again soon, I hope you all take care and be good to each other. Bye now.